Life, Love, and Lipstick.
Welcome to Life, Love, and Lipstick with Lesley Stewart and myself, Tracy Lynn. How are you today? It's been a while.
I know it has been a while, and I was saying to you how hot I am. I'm melting right now in this weather.
I know. This summer, we just went in full-blown summer mode with heat. And I know when we first came on, our producer Celine's like, well, you guys are wearing jackets. And yes,
we are both wearing jackets.
Yes, I love my denim jacket because you could just throw it on.
Yes.
And you have a lovely pink one.
Yeah, so I know it's kind of funny. We're sort of twinsies today. I mean, I am wearing a tank top under here, but I don't think we just want to sport tank tops right now. So
yeah, so that was the thing. It was like, do I want to or do I not want to?
Yeah.
I don't feel I'm quite summer ready yet.
I feel a little bit pasty, to be honest.
Yeah, I did try one of those sunless tanners.
Yes.
And I thought I did a great job. Then the next day I woke up.
Yeah.
Super streaky.
Oh, yeah. I know. I know. And right now we can't go for any kind of real professional spray tans or anything. So it's either pasty or streaky.
Yes. And I think gone are the days where we sit outside, just baking out in the sun with the oil on.
Yeah, gone are those, pure oil days.
What was the spray that we put in our hair? Sun
in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so my friend, my best friend in high school, she was like Greek Macedonian. So she had that beautiful olive skin tone that would tan in a heartbeat. Here I am, little British girl walking along with freckles and white skin, and I'm trying to look like her. It's never going to happen, Lesley.
No. I mean, I do get a nice dark tan, but I try to be mindful of the sun because it does age you.
Yep.
And, just to get a nice healthy glow, we can get it different ways, bronzer, sun tanning, lotions, as I mentioned, but I'll eventually, master it again this season.
Well, it's the accumulative sun that catches up to you when you're older, right? We don't see it when we're younger, and then there's all the other dangers that come with it. So yeah, we have to be careful nowadays.
Well, we have lots to catch up on, a lot of celebrity gossip, a lot of talk, a lot of real talk. So stick around, guys. We're going to go to a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Life, Love, and Lipstick. Lesley Stewart and myself, Tracy Lynn. As we said at the top, we're both sporting our denim jackets.
Yes.
And it is very warm out this week.
Yes.
And it's very, very hot.
I forgot to mention that I don't have an air conditioner right now. So they installed it with my furnace in the fall last year, and they haven't done the official startup. So they're not coming till it was like a week after I booked it. So I'm melting every night. It's just like I'm living in the South.
It's extremely hot. Like I said, we didn't have a lead up to this. It just overnight went super hot. And I said, I feel like I'm in one of those fat suits. Have you ever seen one of those like foil suits that people would run in back then?
Yes.
Sauna suit.
Yes.
I feel like right now. So I feel like I'm almost detoxing all the bad stuff that I had over the long weekend.
There you go. There's many ways of doing that.
It's still oozing out of me.
Oh my goodness. And who knows? I mean, sometimes like we pre-record, so I think it's going to get a little cooler by the time this airs. So people will be like, why are you two so hot? Are you guys like...
I swear it's not a hot flash.
Not flashing on us? What is happening?
All of a sudden we get our fancy fans out. That's what I feel like. I need my fan machine, my wind machine.
Yes.
So a big night just recently, the Billboard Awards.
Yeah. Yes, very fun. Okay, so how weird was it to see fans all jammed in together like that?
I know. I was slightly, so here's the thing. I was slightly excited.
Yeah.
And then there was the other part of me where I was starting to feel a little bit of anxiety.
Yes, me too. It kind of makes me panic. Now, apparently they were all tested, and I guess they've all been vaccinated, and then they had masks on too.
Yes.
But it's still kind of...
It was outdoors.
It was outdoors. Which is like the best part, right? But it was freaky, but cool at the same time.
Yeah. And it was really neat to see Drake accept his award with his little man.
Oh, and his little cornrows, and he looks so cute. And he was holding the award, and then he kind of took off at the end.
I know. The way he was holding that award,
I know.
Like he held it like a pro.
He did. He's only 3. He's a little bitty.
I know. And I'm thinking he really did well, because at 3 years old or 2 or even now, sometimes in my 40, I still get nervous.
Yes. Oh, and my son at 3 would have been off that stage, jumping, leaping into the crowd. So I couldn't believe he just stood there. But one thing I really took note of with Drake was his humble, like, modesty. Remember, like, so they started off with this really flashy video, right? And he kind of came back and said, look, you know what, there's a lot of confidence and bravado in that video, but it's kind of not me. And you could tell, he almost pulled out the insecurities, and it just made him seem so endearing.
Yes, and he said he doesn't celebrate a lot.
Right.
He wants to keep working. So he had some great messages, especially for kids, or for any young adult, because a lot of people make it look so easy, and it's not. It's hard stuff. I mean,
like busting his butt all the time to be good, right? To be great. Yeah. And I know it's funny. I brought that point up to my son. Of course, he's 12-year-old boy, loves Drake. And I just, I said to him, I know sometimes Drake's music can be inappropriate, of course, because he's in the rap world, right? Yeah. Not as bad as most of them, but I said, look at the message. He's like, I just thought it was so great, as you said, for kids. I was like, I'm impressed by you, Drake.
I was very impressed with him too. And The Weeknd as well. Mm-hmm. I know in your show notes, you were talking about polite Canadians.
We're so cute. We're so cute.
I was like, you know what? You're right. We are very polite, no matter which platform that we're on.
Right.
It's pretty cool. We have so much talent in our neck of the woods. And it's nice to see that they're representing, they're showing our like authentic Canadian self.
Well, and as in Drake's like video as well, they were talking about how, you know what, you're never going to make it. You're from Canada, you're too light, you're this, you're that. Like, he wasn't going to make it in that world, and he persevered. And I mean, and it's so same goes for The Weeknd. I mean, look at the guy. And he's, again, so humble. Same thing, sweet. He gets up there, he thanks his mom and dad. Like, he's just like but they're both just really quite epic.
Yeah. And see, I think of Drake, I remember him from Degrassi Junior High. Right. In his character that he played at that time. And then you just see how he's evolved over the years.
Yes.
He's like Zac Efron. He is like at the perfect look, the perfect stage for every stage that we hit.
No, I agree with you. And he just, I just thought they represented, our nation really well. And it was nice to see, because people all down there all think that they're pretty cool. And so do we.
Yeah, we definitely do. Yeah. And interesting, another person making headlines, Morgan Wallin, winning 3 top awards.
Yes.
He's had his own controversy, right?
But he had a lot of controversy. So I actually didn't think he was even able to receive awards after being removed from the show.
Oh, you know what? This is where the fans come in. So the fans have really, they got billboards out. Yeah. They have supported him. And they said, you know what? Yes, he messed up. That's their words. I'm not saying it's called messed up, but his fans said he messed up. He acknowledged it. He should be awarded or be nominated. And I guess things worked out in his benefit. Some people have said, was this a PR stunt? Because as soon as this happened, his downloads on iTunes and on other platforms skyrocketed, even though because the radio is not playing any of his music. That's right. I remember all the radio shut him down. So for people who are wondering, so he's a country star that was just like skyrocketing through, and he's had a couple controversies along the way, right? But the latest was he said, the N word, which is probably like, I don't know, the worst word you could say. Like, why would you use that as a publicity stunt? Like, I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is what some people are saying. I don't agree with it. I do enjoy his music. I am a country fan. Me too. Right? I work in country. I listen to country. You're so you better. Yeah, like I have it ingrained in me. I grew up with old school country. So yes, you love your Anne Murrays and Dolly Parton, and I do too. I'm with you. The Judds. Oh, yes. Patsy Cline. Woo. Patsy Cline. Yeah. So but he has some great music. He is very talented when it comes to not only a songwriter, but a singer. So yeah, he won his awards. Hopefully he's cleaning himself up on many levels, and he comes back and he really shows how sorry he is. Love him or hate him, he's always going to be there. Yeah. I do believe people deserve second chances. I've always believed in that. People mess up, he's relatively young too, but regardless, people mess up.
And, if you can learn, apparently he is really trying to rehabilitate himself and work hard. Like he's making that very, visible. So I isolated the incident and said, well, you know what, he's still talented and still had the numbers and people love him. He's just not allowed to perform or receive an award actually on the show.
Yeah. Well, he showed up at Kid Rock's restaurant in Nashville and he did a pop-up over there.
Did he?
Right. Yeah. Just after, almost a week after, a man was arrested at Kid Rock's bar for tossing around his colonoscopy bag.
Oh.
Is that what they're called? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yes. Bag.
So he had one and anyways, yeah.
Oh, that's not, I don't even know. I'm speechless with that one because that would be really inappropriate.
Yes. So, a lot of stuff. I'm not surprised that happens at Kid Rock's bar though.
No, nothing surprises me with the Kid Rock situation, but.
And I haven't been to Nashville, but that is on my bucket list of places to go to.
Yes, I have been, and it's a very cool city. It's changed a lot because everybody wants to go there, right? As they call it, Nash Vegas, whatever. But so, but
I have to go, and I
definitely have to
go. Make it. So I'll probably make it. Hopefully, post-pandemic, obviously, which we're going to transition into the next topic, which is post-pandemic fears. This is really big. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about their fear of returning to normal, their fear of returning to pants with an elastic waist, their fear and the post-traumatic stress. They're calling this a pandemic PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, because now we have to be in front of people and we don't have that screen in front of us.
So for you, Tracy, if you think about all those different elements, there's so many things, reasons why people would, what would be your number one of reason why you wouldn't want to go back to normal again?
Well, see, I have worked throughout, right? In our industry, we still went to work and we were around people. But I will tell you one of the things, and it's not, I don't mean to be funny about this, but it is a real thing. It's jeans. Wearing jeans. I wore jeans last week.
Yeah.
And because the new place that I'm at, I can't just roll out of bed and put a hoodie on and throw my hair up. I actually do have to put effort into myself. It's been a while, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing with people and realize in radio, normally if you're in radio nowadays, it's all about the video with the radio. Before, they used to say you have a face for radio. Okay. Well, I'm going to sit in my hoodie. I remember doing that. I remember being sick and drinking Pepto-Bismol on doing radio traffic, right? Because you could.
Having to go back to my clothes because I haven't been able to really buy clothes. If you think of last year, we really couldn't buy a lot of clothes. They were only open for a short amount of time. Yeah. So I'm dealing with clothes from 2019, early 2020. And then there's they don't fit, they're not in style, but I can understand how people are going to find it very hard to sit beside somebody or sit in a meeting. So what about you, Lesley? Do you feel like there's something that you may maybe fear or you stress about, or you kind of are questioning what the new normal will be?
Most of, I think, is going back to the grind. Back to, obviously CFL football doesn't exist at this point. Not sure when it's going to start, if we even have a season. That's one of my jobs. And then, I have basically 3 things all just running in circles plus my son, and I'm a single mom. So like yourself. So I am worried about that. And I think there are a lot of people who are worried about, there's a lot of relief that came with some things just being removed from our schedules.
Yeah. And then we were able to, it took a little while. I don't know about you, but I know for myself, it took me a while to adjust into the pandemic when they said we had to stay home, and a couple of my jobs, same as you, they stopped. Yep. So you go from working a 12, 15-hour day or have 20-hour days by the time you get all your stuff done.
Yes.
To a quarter of it. And then now you're like, wow, I can have a nap. I can do this. I could do that.
Right.
Going back to that grind, you're right.
That's my fear.
That's hard.
I don't want to get the call that said, like my one job that's more of an office based, sports stuff. I don't want to sit there anymore. And I want to, that part of, anyone listening, they're like, oh, wow, she's just resigning from her job.
No. But there is something, the positive thing that has come out of this. And one article suggests that a lot of companies have now realized, wow, a lot of people are capable of working from home and they are more productive.
Yes.
Which is a bonus because now there's no excuse. You don't need to say, oh, I don't feel good, I'm not coming in. Well, it's just going to be like school. There's no snow days.
Right.
Go online learning.
Now there's good and bad with that, right? Of course, way back in the day when our parents were, working full time, you left the job at 5, you left your job at 5.
Yes.
Now
so the new
you could just
right
work.
now.
Yeah. Like my best friend who always worked from a home office.
Mm-hmm.
She said, she was working till 9:00 at night. Some nights she'd go and feed the family and then go back down to her office, and the stress, like she had to take a bit of a leave because she was burning it out. And that is one of the downsides of working from home.
Yes. And they did say that they were going to introduce some sort of law from working from home where you had to shut off. You were good to shut off, and your boss or employer couldn't say no, because you need to be able to turn off, because like you said, when you're at home, there's no 9 to 5. I mean, you were kind of just working 24 hours.
Ariana Huffington, right? From Huffington Post and Thrive. She's written I recommend to people, called Thrive. And it's about balancing your life. So being in the workplace, and having family and all that, but finding that balance, because one day she just blacked out and realized she was doing that. She was working like 20-hour days and killing herself. So that is the kind of thing that we have to be careful of as we start to open up the world again. As you say, we've seen what it's like to not be having those kind of schedules, kids in all the sports, and you're running and burnt out. Now you got to go, okay, I'm going to pick and choose what I'm doing here.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had to deal with the pandemic burnout. And that was on so many levels, no matter if you were at home, I mean, homeschooling kids or working from home, or if you were working on the front line or you had to go to work. So much stuff that has been taken into consideration. So, hey, if you're watching or if you're listening, make sure you go to our social, chime in on this conversation. We'll do a post. And we want to know, how are you going to go post-pandemic? How are you going? What are your tips? What's your advice? Maybe what are you stressing? Could be the pants, could be one-on-one conversation. It could be leaving the house.
Having to put makeup on again on the lower half of your face.
I know. There's a lot of things that have changed in my beauty routine the last year. Right? And, you know what? We've simplified life a lot. But right now we're going to go to a quick break and we're going to be right back. Welcome back to Life, Love, and Lipstick with Lesley Stewart and myself, Tracy Lynn. We were just talking about pandemic fears and stress, the burnout that comes along with it, and then the burnout that's probably going to come once we start getting back into reality. We just got to learn to take that deep breath. And
I think we need to ease into it. Like, I feel like the government is going to be opening up so slowly in these phases that maybe there is that ease into it that'll help us all. And then we hopefully, as we say, maybe pick and choose what we just don't want to do anymore.
I am looking forward to going to a restaurant, though. I am looking forward to not cooking or planning a meal.
Yes.
I just want to get out, and it doesn't matter. I mean, we can go outside because the weather's nice. You can hang out in the backyard or on your driveway, or a lot of garages are now being converted into, extra parts of the home.
Yes.
We really have been creative. The price of wood has quadrupled.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh. I got something quoted and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
I know. I was going to replace the deck at the front of my house too. And I was like, nope, not this year. So
no, it's crazy. And it's not just wood. It's so many products that have gone up in prices because, well, demand isn't there. Here's something that I found and I thought it was really cute. It's adult drinking bags.
Okay. Yeah. So what is this, Tracy?
I sent it to you already. And I thought, wow,
I know, but I didn't get to look it up because I'm like, she just needs to tell me.
Go to the store and you buy the frozen fruit in a bag, right?
Yes.
Or you can go to Costco and get the Costco size one, depending on how your day is. You open it and it has that resealable flap on it. Well, you fill it with your choice of beverage in there.
Like pour a whole bottle of wine in there.
You can make a sangria. You can make a non-alcoholic beverage if you want, but can add whatever you want into this. And women, this is what we're doing. We're making sure we get our healthy dose of fruits and and then you just like sip it, or you put it in the freezer and it's like turns into a slushie. I thought, well, that is super creative.
It's a very large, you can see that came out of some kind of desperation. You know, this is how things, they come from necessity at the time, right? Like
the pandemic has definitely changed us.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I saw this post. I had to laugh. And when you see it, you can pick which friends would be sitting right there with you with a bag.
Oh, I could just see. That is just hilarious. Like what people come up with. Yeah, but it's like someone didn't was camping or something and didn't have like cups or something. And I don't know, let's drink out of a bag. And then
yeah, like it just almost looks like an adult drinking box.
Yeah. Oh
right? I saw it. I laughed. I'm like, okay, this is definitely something that I will probably try, because if you think about it, like we're steaming hot right now. That would be very refreshing.
It absolutely.
Very moment.
Very nice at the cottage.
So we have so much to look forward to, as we talked about this this coming Thursday. Depending on when this is airing, it may have passed, but
Friends.
Yeah, Friends.
I can't. I'm so excited.
It's finally here. Now talk about pandemic crap that has happened. This has been rescheduled. Yeah. How many times?
Oh, I know. It just people and so we've all been just waiting for this for so long. Like I know all my friends too. It's just like beyond excited for this because we just love them.
Not going to be, from my understanding, it's just gonna be like a round table.
Yeah.
And talking about behind the scenes, whereas I've been very vocal about, I wish it was a pickup as to what has happened over the years. Did Ross and Rachel end up getting married? Did Chandler and Monica have more children? Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to know.
Yeah.
But I guess during the table read, it looked like Jennifer Aniston. So Rachel and Ross, David, they looked like they were flirting. Seems like they've almost like rekindled that connection quite quickly.
Is he currently married in the real world?
No.
Because that would be interesting. Because I know everyone's trying to pair Jennifer Aniston up with somebody right now, but it would be interesting. But she ended up with David Schwimmer.
Yeah, can you imagine the real Ross and Rachel?
Oh, that'd be so cute.
Yeah. But, there is one person that is trending when it comes to who people want to see Jennifer Aniston with.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
Oh, I kind of like that one. I think he's adorable.
I saw this and then I saw the picture because I think they briefly dated before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed that. I kind of didn't know that. I wonder what happened. Maybe it was
I wonder if it was around the same time when Bennifer started up.
Maybe it was in that era. Okay. Yeah, maybe.
But interesting. Remember when Bradley Cooper, everyone thought he had hooked up with Lady Gaga?
Yes.
Like he ended up separating from his partner.
That, right? But you know what? Sometimes when you're in a situation like that, I think he was around Lady Gaga. He found her very endearing and fun. And you know what? Sometimes almost not as much as he wanted to be with Lady Gaga, but maybe what he didn't have in his relationship.
Yeah.
You know?
They had a strong connection.
Yes.
I don't know. It was on camera, but there was still, it felt like something was there.
I know. Remember when they played at the awards and like they sang beside each other at the piano, and they just know how to make it like real.
It was hot.
It was. Everyone's like, oh, they're in love.
Then Bradley Cooper ended up separating from his partner.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think they were married, but
I think they were engaged, weren't they, or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Now they co-parent and everything's great. So.
Right. Wouldn't it be cool if he ended up with Jennifer Aniston because she never got to have children? Then he has a little.
Yeah, he does.
They can have a little family.
Oh, I wonder. I'm surprised that we've changed gears from Jennifer Lopez. Now we're on to Jennifer Aniston all of a sudden, and we want her to date. And you know who else was on this list? Harry Styles.
Okay, I saw that. I don't understand. There was never any glimmers of that, right? I don't get the Harry Styles thing. I'm sorry. I'm not a.
I don't either.
I
just can't picture the two together, and it has nothing to do with their age. It's just they're two separate personalities.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
I don't know. That one just didn't.
No,
Nah.
I don't think so. I don't think she'd go there. I think he would maybe attempt to go there, but she wouldn't go there. I don't think.
So interesting, because now that we have her, kind of making a spotlight again, right? Because the whole Friends coming out, and there's gonna be a lot. I feel like when Friends re-airs, like does this reunion, we're all shutting down. That's it.
We're all gonna what?
We're just shutting down. Like there's gonna be no life.
Oh.
We're gonna be so focused on
Yes
what they're doing, because they all look great. But I know people were worried about Chandler, Matthew
Perry. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about his whole situation, because when we talked in past shows about the, him being on that dating site and stuff, and right?
So creepy.
So there was a little something there that I didn't want to know, because they've managed to that whole group keep themselves pretty squeaky clean, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes the brand so great. I noticed in one of the promos, David Schwimmer, Ross mentioned how they were so perfectly cast, right? And they were.
Don't even think Jennifer Aniston originally was going to even take this role.
Wow.
She was doing something else at the time. And then she ended up just kind of saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to pass on this. I'm going to do this.
Wow.
Someone even said to her, you're not going to get famous on this show.
Yes. Yes, I did hear that.
Yeah.
Easy, right?
Can you imagine how many times throughout our career, if we listen to people?
Yes. Absolutely. And you know what? And you hear it happen. Sometimes you hear movies that were blockbusters, and you hear about the actors that turned it down. They read the script and they're like, nah, it's not going to make it. And meanwhile, it's like the Titanic or something, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's always a hit movie where they tell you afterwards who was supposed to be on, like you said, and then you can't picture them in that role.
No, you're like, oh, you wouldn't have been good anyway.
I could picture anyone else playing any of the other Friends characters, or any of the friend characters. Like, I don't know. There wouldn't be someone I would say, hey, would have played like a great Monica. Like, Monica's Monica.
Yeah. The uptight, really, particular, right? Like, and that's the thing. And they all had a real cuteness about each character. Like each one of them, each guy I thought was cute in their own way. Right?
Joey.
Oh, Joey.
Let's talk about Joey. Joey looks a lot older these days.
Yeah, he is, because I think he's gained some weight.
Yeah.
And he's all gray. So he does look older. But he's cute. But
yeah, he is still cute. He is very cute. Like, I could still hear him with his, hey.
Yeah, he's so like, not the brightest monkey in the tree.
Away with that. He could get away with that. So it's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, interesting about the whole Jennifer Aniston. Bennifer, obviously. Hot topic again, because we all thought maybe PR stunt. Now all of a sudden it's maybe this is a real thing.
Like legit. I know. I'm kind of wondering if things are sort of simmering below the surface. We don't really know what's going on, but something, and we're all, putting in their bets on what's going to happen.
Because they're spending more and more time together.
Yep.
They did share a kiss going into a Miami gym. Somebody got a picture of that. They looked fairly close together, and she's sporting some new bangs, which she's making me want to do the bangs again.
Yeah, she looks good. They're long bangs though, right? So they're easy to grow out.
Certain bangs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The YouTube tutorials, have you ever seen them where they twist?
Yes.
Cut, and then they go out like this?
Yes.
They usually end up like this or something.
Well, we've talked about this before with, like you have a widow's peak and I have cowlicks. And so you have to be careful. Just because somebody's haircut looks good on them, you have to look at your own hairline and what's happening.
And I'll tell you, there's been a whole lot of stuff happening in this hair lately because, again, going back to pandemic, we can't go to a hairstylist for another month or so. We can't, it's just hard. I'm not a hair person. That's why I'm always wearing it up or, whatever, just to keep it out of my face, but I don't want my hair short.
Well, and right now too, it's hard with the humidity and the heat. I mean, that's when my hair's just like flat and that's it. I'm sorry. This is what it is today.
Curl in my hair and I brushed it out like away from the heat.
Yeah.
And it just went super frizzy.
Yeah. It's unfrizzed and flat right now. Oh, it's just.
And it's like sweaty on the back of my neck.
Oh yeah.
Oh. I feel like I need to do the girl. Was she from Mad TV or Saturday Night Live? Remember when she was dancing and she put her hair?
Oh yeah, she did. Remember that? Oh, the superstar.
I'm thinking of was Saturday Night Live. I can't.
That was Saturday Night Live. Yes, I remember that so well. She'd go on one knee.
My daughter, here's a funny story. Okay, so the other night, my daughter, well, she doesn't, they do this all the time. You hear the kids with their phones taking pictures and selfies and Snapchatting.
Yeah.
She's doing something and she always gets me at like the worst time. And then I get, ew, that's an awful picture. Like, look at that angle. And she'll say, don't worry, it's just to my friend. Okay, so I didn't realize that I was on my phone. I was looking at something and I was hot and I actually like smelt myself. You know, you ever done that? Just casually, like, you know.
Yeah, usually in like yoga or something.
I'm like, okay, that smells not me. I didn't think it was me, but you know, she caught it on camera and she thought it was the funniest video. It was in her TikTok video or something.
No way.
Yeah. And I'm like, delete it. No, but yeah.
Oh, she's exposing her mama.
I am so annoyed. Every time I look at them, there's always and you hear that sound. They're just TikToking.
Oh yeah. My son's been TikToking since he was so teeny tiny. And it's just, I look back and his little TikToks are so cute. I'm like, please don't delete those. They're so sweet.
Yeah. And I've tried a few. And I post it, but it seems like my dog gets more of a response than I do.
Well, it happens.
He's cute. So I will let him. I think that is pretty good. But yeah, the whole new world, TikToks, and the best is, well, I learned it on TikTok. So it has to be real. It has to be good.
Oh, I know. And my son's like, Mommy, I don't fall for that stuff. I'm like, well, careful now. Full-blown adults fall for that stuff. So
yeah, they had to make some cookie cake dip. And yeah, it didn't turn out. It did not taste very good. But
yeah, I guess yeah. Some of the recipes on TikTok are interesting, right? The whole feta.
Yeah,
I did. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I did. I tried that one. That was really good. Like I said, I'm super obsessed with my plating for food. So the first part of the pandemic was my chef skills, my culinary skills. Now I'm all about plating.
Because you eat with your eyes, right? So you don't want to just slop on your plate. You want it to look pretty.
There's nothing like taking the ketchup and making a heart on the plate.
Oh, look at you.
Making it look some fancy stuff.
Yeah, you gotta impress, So
gotta impress. We'll stick around, guys. We're gonna go to our last break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Life, Love, and Lipstick. Lesley Stewart and myself, Tracy Lynn. Well, we've talked a lot about the pandemic and how we are slowly going to hopefully start to get out of it, reopen the world, kind of walking outside in front of people, not doing this whole Zoom thing. And I feel like I've been hit with like a triple double whammy right in my face because I have been very open about my pandemic weight gain. And I know people have been sending messages. They're like, I don't see it, but why are you complaining about it? Well, I feel it. I see it. I know people are just being polite. Yeah. So we're going to be coming out of a pandemic. We have been hit with extremely hot temperatures where you want to get your summer clothes out.
Yeah. Like little bits of clothing. Yeah.
I went through my summer clothes last week. Yep. Thank goodness I invested in muumuus and maxi dresses and a lot of stretchy pants last summer. But I feel like I'm being like, I'm overwhelmed. So, I've picked up my stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm getting back into working out. I'm going to do some more walking. and I do watch what I eat. I don't eat bad. I do have my cheat days, but I was reading an article and then you just sent me the picture of Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Who has always been very fit. I have loved her for her sexy legs.
Beautiful body.
And she's kind of like taking this into overdrive because she is extremely skinny right now. And I know her husband came out to say he was worried about her. She spends hours, not a lot of hours a day to work out. But
well, it becomes an addiction for people too, right? Just like food can be an addiction, the gym or working out becomes an addiction, especially if you start to see results. Once you cross over into result time, I think people go bananas. And apparently she got introduced to a reformer, like a Pilates workout machine, which really can streamline the body, right? As we know. And I guess she realized, wow, I can have long, lean muscles like a ballerina. And then of course comes with that, you stop eating and you start controlling. It is a control thing too. And I know, as you just mentioned, Tracy, I know a few people some people have gained weight during the pandemic, and some people have had extra time to work out like crazy 2-3 times a day. So there's a problem there. Yeah.
All we were allowed to do was walk for the most part. And that was the only way you were allowed to get out of your home, is if you were leaving it to exercise.
Right.
And you know what? I did all of that, but then I felt like it was like a circle. I was extremely, I was really diligent about working out, watching what I was eating, as I always did. And then it hit a time, I think when we hit like our 3rd or 4th lockdown, I'm like, I felt depressed. We talked about the pandemic burnout, and I just I don't want to say I gave up. I just felt like, I just was like, As we said,
I did that over the winter. Yeah. Like, I'm like you too. I eat really well and take care of myself, but the lack of having formal exercise really threw me for a loop. So once, when we had that bit of open in the fall where we were able to go back, I was going back to yoga. I would just wear my mask. I was doing belly dancing classes, but I never went back to Orange Theory. That's I like those organized, hardcore 45-minute to an hour workouts in a group environment. I never went back because I didn't feel safe to go back to that. And that's where I felt like I really got a good workout. And it's tough to get, you don't have that for over a year.
Yeah, I gave up my gym membership, and I would make a point of going to the gym. Now, when you have a gym set up at home, you can find an excuse and easily not do it.
Big time.
Whereas I would say, okay, well, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to the grocery store. And I would have the day planned out, or the evening.
Yes.
And going to the gym was just a break from the house, right?
Exactly.
Now,
you felt better after, and
you work out, and there's constantly a kid, or you're constantly being asked to do stuff, or we were feeling guilty about taking that time. And by the end of the day, when there's a few minutes left over, you're like, I'm too tired. And that's what I felt, where I was feeling that burnout. I was not making the time. So now I've officially changed my lifestyle. Now you realize you can't do 1,000 things in a day.
Right. No, and you know what? And I had the rough patch during the winter more, where I was just like, even when I eat things, like, they're still good, but I was just kind of eating more and, and whatever. But now I'm on the good path right now. So I've been working hard again, and having nice breaks in between meals. But I've mentioned this before, but anyone Apple, but I think the Apple workouts are so good. If anybody has ever thought about trying, you go in there and they have 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can just grab a quick core workout. You can, like before I went to bed last night, like at 10 o'clock at night, I did a quick 20-minute weight sequence because I could. Because I could. And once you kind of get into that, then you realize you can pick it up at any time in the day at your own leisure, and you don't need a lot of space. So I do recommend those people check it out. As I say, I have nothing in Apple. I wish I did. But
yeah, well, it's good because we don't have an excuse. There's so much easy access to exercises and meal plans. I feel like my main thing is I know how to work out. I know how to do this, and we're probably going to have a guest on to talk about fitness. But it's the meal plans that get me.
Yep.
Because you do have to be careful what you're eating. And they say you shouldn't have any sugary foods, and that includes yogurt after a certain time of the day. Your body stores it as fat. And I've told you about how much I love my cookies and my chocolate.
Right. I'm with you. I do too, Trace. Especially with a coffee, right? A coffee needs an accompaniment. It's just like that.
Yeah. You know what else I tried? And now this was very high in sugar, but I did enjoy it, was the Snoop Dogg wine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So tell me about it. What'd you think?
It was very nice. Because I'm not used to a high sugar wine, and I'm talking about like, we'll have anything from like a 0 to a 5 being like the highest normally.
Yeah.
But I'll never say no to wine. So I don't actually say to people like, oh, what's the sugar content? Or I don't want to drink that, but we did.
You're like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not a wine snob, but we were introduced to, I think it's 19 Crimes by Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
The Cali Red. We both really enjoyed it, but you could taste how sweet it was.
Sweet. Yeah, it is sweet.
Yeah, I think it was like almost 20 grams a liter.
And that's the thing most people don't realize, is that the wineries won't tell you, but they
Yeah.
Okay. They do. They're not going to tell you.
That wine waste is a legit thing. Like
It's legit.
big. And so we tried that. And the Rock's new tequila, Dwayne Johnson's tequila. Terramana, I think it's Terramana, and I apologize if I'm saying it wrong, but I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head.
I know.
Terramana Blanco, and that was good.
Nice. Now, did you just like sip on it, little sip, or did you mix it with something?
I
Or?
didn't mix it.
Tracy's basically suggesting she chugged it.
Well, for the most part, but I did it.
What?
At first, I did. I sipped it because I wanted to. I saw his videos and other celebrities saying it's smooth, and I'm like, oh, this is smooth.
Like, oh.
Yeah. And I just, it was good. It was actually very good. And now that's another thing that I was told, that if you are watching what your intake is, tequila is a really good choice compared to other drinks.
Yes. And I understand that because there's like, I think it's gluten-free too, right? I guess, because I've heard people talk about this and I never really thought about it before, but yeah, if you choose those kind of alcohols, then it's a little bit better for the waistline. I
love when we pick up our can. Now this is just water, but like you're like, oh yeah, and someone asks you what you're drinking, and you're like, yeah, it's this new drink. I found this cooler. Oh, and it's gluten free.
Gluten free. I'm like, well, I just knew gluten was in beer because they're grains, right? But other than that, what else? I don't understand.
Or there's no sugar in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's the sodium at? Because that's my key thing. Is the sodium, because the more sodium in a drink, like you absorb that water weight.
There's better sodium than sugar. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
because there are a lot of those. Remember, like I guess years ago on Dragon's Den, I can't remember the original name, the company. I can picture the can that came out with the sugarless drink. So it was just vodka with Socialite. Remember Socialite? Yeah, so they went on Dragon's Den, and then, so they came out with that like cucumber lime and just vodka, and there's no sugar added. So those definitely are sugarless drinks, and there's a big trend with that right now, right? Which is better, but I still feel guilty just about drinking alcohol, period, sometimes. Like it's just, I just
don't. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I don't mean that in like a way, but you know what? I do. I enjoy my wine. And I will say that's probably one of the things that, the pandemic, I blame it on the pandemic.
Right. So funny.
Well, listen, most of the time it's organic wine.
Yeah, so that's good.
Low sugar.
Right. Those are good choices.
Good
Yes. That's where red wine comes in. Absolutely, it's good for your heart, and I love that you choose the low sugar wines, though. That's good because
I have become obsessed with labels lately. Not only when it comes to labels in beauty products, but in our food products and drinks, because especially in alcohol, that sugar content.
Okay, I have one for you.
Bathe in a thing of chocolate, like a whole pool of sugar.
Seriously. I went one time, my brother he's not a drinker really either. But I bought once in a while, he'd like a cider, like a hard cider, kind of originated out of the UK. Right. So I bought one time, and the lady at the LCBO said, "Oh, you're not drinking that, are you?" And I said, "Oh no, it's not. It's for my brother." She's like, "There's 60 grams of sugar in that can."
What?
60
in a cider?
In a cider, one of those big cider, the big tall boy cider cans. Yeah. Apparently they range from anywhere from 50 to 60 per can because it's already like apple based, right? And then they add tons of sugar. I thought, okay, I can't even give it to my brother. I feel guilty.
Oh my gosh.
Just a heads up for people out there. Those nice, cool little cider drinks you're drinking, pear, apple.
Yeah. Because I noticed that too on the wine, and I didn't know where to look on the label because they don't have it on the physical label. It's on the label where the price is.
Yeah.
But we were drinking some that were like 20 plus. And again, that's where your headaches and everything
exactly
come from.
Right. So you're dehydrating from the alcohol, and then you're adding tons of sugar. Your body's just freaking out.
Yeah. It's like withdrawal. But once you I'm more of like a dry red. So I don't like sweet. I don't like I don't have sugar in my coffee.
Yep.
Like I said, my sugar comes from chocolate, cookies, candy, that sort of stuff. Oh, my fruit. Okay. I do.
Are you a milk chocolate or dark chocolate girl?
I don't drink milk.
No, I mean, no, like dark chocolate or milk chocolate, like as in like the actual chocolate itself. Do you like the milk chocolate?
I like, over the years, I've always liked milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've acquired a taste for sea salt dark chocolate. I don't mind white.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I'll never put it away.
I like dark chocolate since I was a kid, which was really weird back then.
Because that's an acquired taste.
Kind of bitter, right?
Yeah. That's why I like the one that has the salt in it, the sea salt dark chocolate.
We're just throwing it out there for all of our viewers and listeners. If you ever want to send us anything, we like chocolate. Specifically dark chocolate with sea salt.
Chocolate and low sugar wine.
Yeah, those are good things together. Those are good. You can actually have dark chocolate with red wine.
It tastes really good. I do a charcuterie board with the salty meat, different cheeses.
Yes.
And I break up the dark chocolate on there as well.
Oh, that's decadent. I'm coming over, Tracy.
Yes. We definitely, we are hitting hopefully the post-pandemic, so we have to do a girls' night, and we'll have to do a live feed that night because it will be really fun.
Yeah, we do need to do that. Tracy and I've never been able to shoot a show together in the same room, which would be fun.
I know. So it's something we're looking forward to. Well, it's been a great show. And I have to say, you look amazing as you always do.
I'm hot.
We're both like just dying here because we're under
my coat.
and we're sweating, which I know. Next time we may just have to show up in just the tank top because.
Oh, you know what? We're both on our new workout regimens. I think we can. Maybe we'll start sporting the tank tops, everybody.
I am almost ready. Getting the biceps back, baby. Yeah. Which way to the beach?
Yeah, that way.
Well, I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Good week, and we will see you next week. In the meantime, guys, we hope that you check us out on all platforms or social media podcasts. We're there.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Life, love, and lipstick.